Welcome to Jam Packed, Business Made Easy with AI. My name is Robin Anderson, and I'm the CEO of Jam AI. At Jam AI, we have a community where we are training thousands of small business owners every week on how to use applicable and everyday AI. In this podcast, we're focusing on the human side of AI. We're interviewing members of our community and understanding how they're using AI to save more time and make more money. We also practice what we preach. Every Monday, we're generating a podcast from our AI agent. You're going to love it. We have way too much content and not enough time to record, so it's helping us get this information to you. Well, buckle up, take some notes, and listen to what we're about to tell you. And if you want to know more, you can join us free for 7 days in Club Jam by going to jamout.ai for more information.
Imagine for a second that you could hire a team that literally never sleeps.
Right.
I'm talking about a marketing specialist, A/B testing subject lines at 3 a.m, a customer service rep who responds instantly on a Sunday,
And an ops manager who never, ever forgets to update the master spreadsheet. And the kicker,
What's that?
they don't drink coffee, they don't take holidays, and they work for, well, essentially for free.
It sounds like sci-fi or maybe a little bit dystopian, depending on your outlet.
It does, but this is the reality of where the big three of automation are right now.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we are unpacking a huge stack of updates and guides from the absolute giants of this world, Make.com, Zapier, and N8N. And our mission today is to get really practical.
Yeah, there's so much noise. Everyone's talking about AI, but very few people are explaining how you actually use it, how you wire it into your business.
Exactly. So we're moving past the simple stuff. For years, automation just meant, if this, then that.
Right. If I get an email, save the attachment. It was useful, but kind of dumb. It's just a pipe moving data from A to B.
But the sources we're looking at today show a fundamental shift.
Yeah.
We are, and I mean this, we're entering the era of agents.
That's the word for it.
We're talking about no-code tools that can actually make decisions without you writing a single line of code.
And that's the difference, right? Automation moves data. An agent decides what to do with it. That's a huge leap.
So if you're a small business owner drowning in admin or a marketer trying to scale with a tiny team, this is all about reclaiming your time.
And it's funny, a lot of these source materials are framed around like education or classrooms.
Yeah, I saw that.
But the logic engine you use to schedule students is the exact same one you use to manage a sales pipeline. It's all translatable.
Okay, let's jump in. First up, the platform for the visual thinkers out there, Make.com.
Formerly Integromat. A lot of people still call it that.
Right. If you've never seen it, you have to picture a blank canvas where you drag these little bubbles around and connect them with lines.
It looks like a mind map, which is great, but that blank canvas can be, it can be really intimidating. You just stare at it and think, okay, now what?
Which brings us to the big news from Make, a new feature called Maya.
Maya.
Yeah. And why is this such a big deal for someone who's maybe afraid of that blank canvas?
Because it completely removes that blank page paralysis. Before, you had to know the logic. You had to know, okay, I need a webhook, then a JSON parser, then a router.
Which is just gibberish to most people. They just want their invoices paid.
Exactly. With Maya, the sources say you can generate workflows using just plain English. You type in a chat box, I want to watch my email for invoices, pull out the total amount, and add it to a Google Sheet.
It built it for you.
It builds the structure. It puts the bubbles on the canvas and connects them. Now, is it perfect every time? No, of course not. But it gets you like 80 or 90% of the way there in seconds.
So you're not coding, you're just describing.
You're just asking. But it's not just the setup. The sources mention a few other things that give these agents more brain power, specifically if-else modules.
That sounds a little technical. Break that down.
It sounds technical, but it's the secret to making an agent act like an employee who can think.
Okay, give me an example. How does a small business use if-else?
Think about your sales leads. The old automation would just dump every single lead from your website into one big list.
Right, the good, the bad, the spam, all of it.
And then you have to manually sort it all. With if-else, your agent can look at the data first. You set a rule. If the lead's company size is over 50 employees, then send an urgent alert to the CEO's Slack.
Okay, so the big fish get the red carpet treatment.
Exactly. else. If it's a smaller lead or, a generic Gmail address, it just adds them to your weekly newsletter.
So it's filtering.
Yeah.
It's prioritizing. It's acting like a good executive assistant.
Precisely. It's making a judgment call. That's what makes it an agent. It's evaluating the lead, not just moving it.
Now, there was another feature that stood out to me, mostly because I've lived the pain of not having it. Scenario run replay.
Oh, this is the save your sanity feature.
Because things break.
Right.
Right. And automation is working perfectly, and then something changes and the whole thing just stops.
And fixing it was a nightmare. You're just guessing, staring at error logs that look like, the Matrix.
What was the replay do?
It's like a DVR for your automation. You can go back to the exact run that failed at 3 a.m. last Tuesday, and you can replay the exact data that broke it.
So you can see where it got stuck.
You see exactly where it got stuck. You fix the logic, and then you run that same data through again to make sure it works. It turns hours of troubleshooting into minutes.
I love that. Okay, one last thing on Make. Sub-scenarios. What's that about?
Think of it like franchising your own process.
Franchising. Okay, I like that metaphor.
So let's say you have a complex process for onboarding a new client. It has 5 steps.
Yes.
Send the contract, create a Slack channel, set up billing.
A lot of moving parts.
A lot. Now, instead of building that 5-step chain 3 different times for 3 different lead sources, you build it once as a sub-scenario.
A master blueprint.
Exactly. And then any other automation can just plug into that master blueprint. It's like using Legos. You build your onboarding block and you just snap it in wherever you need it.
Which is so much smarter for scaling.
It's the only way to scale without creating a mess.
Okay, so that's Make. Let's pivot to the giant in the room, the one everybody's heard of, Zapier.
You have to talk about Zapier. If Make is the visual architect, Zapier is the universal translator.
And their superpower is just scale. The sources mentioned over 8,000 app integrations.
Which is just staggering. It basically means if a piece of software exists, Zapier can probably talk to it.
For sure. But the big shift we're seeing in their updates is this move away from just zaps to Zapier agents.
Yes, and that is a crucial distinction. A zap is linear. Trigger happens, action happens.
It's a pipe.
It's a pipe. An agent, according to their docs, is a brain. It combines 3 things: prompts, data sources, and actions.
Let's break that down. Walk us through how a Zapier agent handles a new lead differently than a classic Zap.
Okay, so the old Zap would see a new lead and it would email you. That's it. New lead, John Doe.
And then the work starts for me.
Right. An agent does the work for you. So the lead comes in. First, it uses a prompt to read the person's message and analyze the intent.
So it's actually reading the text and figuring out if they're angry or ready to buy.
Exactly. It's getting context. Then step 2. Data sources. It connects to your other apps. It checks your CRM to see if they're a past customer. It might check Stripe to see if they're already a subscriber.
It's doing the research for you.
It's doing the research. And then step 3, action. It uses all that intelligence to draft a personalized reply. For a VIP client, it might say, "Welcome back. Here's a special offer." For a new lead, it's, "Nice to meet you. Here's our brochure."
Wow. That's a totally different level of customer experience. It feels human.
And you didn't touch a thing.
But this brings up a really important point from the community updates. Governance.
Governance, yeah. Sounds a little boring and corporate.
It does, but when you're letting robots talk to your customers,
Yeah.
it feels pretty critical.
It is absolutely vital. The sources mention Copilot, which is basically guardrails. You need to make sure your AI agent isn't, hallucinating.
Right, you don't want it promising a 90% discount that you can't honor.
Exactly. Or using a tone that's totally off-brand. These governance features let you set strict rules. Do not discuss pricing. Always use a professional tone.
So it's like having a manager approve the AI's work before it hits send.
That is the perfect analogy, and that peace of mind is what lets you actually trust it and step away. Otherwise, you're just micromanaging a robot.
Which defeats the whole purpose.
Oh, try.
Okay, so we've got Make for logic, Zapier for connectivity. Let's talk about NAN.
NAN.
This one is often called the Power User Tool. It's open source, right?
It is, which is a huge deal for people who want total control over their data. But what was fascinating in our sources was this concept of multi-agent teams.
I love this part, the tutorial about building a full marketing team out of software.
Yes, this is where it gets really sophisticated. You don't have one AI doing one task. You have a chain of specialized agents handing work off to each other.
Paint that picture for me. How does that work?
Well, think of a real marketing team. You've got a researcher, a copywriter, and a designer.
Right.
In NAMN, you can build that. Agent A is the researcher. It goes out and scrapes the web for trending topics in your industry. It passes that research to Agent B.
The copywriter.
Agent B takes the research and writes a blog post. Then it passes that text to Agent C, the image generator.
Wow.
Which reads the text and creates a matching thumbnail or a social media graphic.
And this is all happening automatically from one single trigger.
One trigger starts the whole assembly line.
Right.
The output of one AI brain becomes the input for the next one.
So as a solo marketer, I could just drop a topic into a form, walk away, and come back to a finished blog post with images.
That is precisely the use case.
Yeah.
You're not doing the work, you're designing the workflow that does the work.
Let's touch on the operations side too. The sources talked a lot about class scheduling and Google Calendar templates.
Right, and this is where we need to put our translation glasses on again.
Because most of us aren't running a university.
Exactly. But a class scheduling template is just a client booking system. It's the same thing.
How so?
The template sends email and SMS reminders to students. For a consultant or a sales rep, that workflow is gold. A client books a meeting, they get a confirmation. An hour before, they get an SMS reminder so they don't no-show.
And a follow-up ad.
And a follow-up after. It's amazing how we get hung up on the labels. The logic is universal.
Okay, that makes sense. There was one more in the NAN sources, predictive student support.
Which, in business terms, is predictive customer success.
Churn prevention.
Exactly. It's using data to spot a risk before it happens. The agent looks for patterns, like a client who hasn't logged into your software for 2 weeks.
And it flags that.
It spots the pattern and triggers a personal check-in email before they cancel. Hey, just checking in. Need any help?
That is proactive retention on autopilot. That's huge.
And again, it's a template. You're not building the algorithm from scratch.
Okay, so we've covered the big three. I'm putting myself in the listener's shoes right now, and I might be feeling a little overwhelmed. So help us choose a fighter.
It's the big question, and there isn't a best one, just a best for you.
So who is Make.com for?
Make is for the visual thinker. The person who needs complex logic like if this, then that, but only on Tuesdays. If you like to map things out, that's your tool.
The architect. Got it. What about Zapier?
Zapier is for the person who just needs to connect everything. Right now, if you use a ton of different apps, Zapier is the universal plug. It's the path of least resistance.
Connectivity and speed. And N8N.
NAN is for the builder. If you loved that idea of the multi-agent marketing team or you're concerned about data privacy and want an open source option, N8N is for you. Steeper learning curve, but more power.
And what's the one shortcut across all three?
Templates.
Yes.
Please do not start from a blank screen. All three platforms have huge libraries of templates. The skeleton is already built for you.
You just have to move in.
You just have to move in.
So let's zoom out as we wrap up. We're moving from simple automation to agents.
It's a shift from just moving data to acting on data. Automation was about the hands. Agents are about the brain.
And for a small business owner, this just levels the playing field.
It really does. 5 years ago, you needed a whole department to do what we just described. Now you need a subscription and a free afternoon.
But it changes our jobs, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If the robots are doing the work,
Yeah.
what do we do?
And that, I think, is the provocative thought I want to leave everyone with.
Lay it on us.
We've talked about agents that can write, design, schedule, and analyze. If the doing is being automated, and even some of the deciding is being automated, the value of the human shifts entirely to directing.
You're not the worker anymore.
You're not the worker. You are the manager of an AI fleet. Your job isn't to answer the email. Your job is to design the system that answers the email perfectly every single time.
It's a promotion.
It is a promotion.
Yep.
But the question is, are you ready to stop being the operator and start being the executive? You have to be willing to let go of the keys.
Wow. That is a lot to chew on. Stop being the worker, start being the manager. I love that.
It's a mindset shift, but that's where all the leverage is now.
So we want to challenge you, yes, you listening, to take that first step. Don't try to fix your whole business tonight. Just pick one thing.
Just one small process.
That lead workflow or the client booking system. Find a template on one of these platforms and just turn it on. See what happens.
See how it feels to let a robot do the work for you.
Thanks for diving in with us. We'll see you on the next deep dive.
Take care.